is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Watch throughout the day, and if tempted, say, it is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. All I need to say to any part of hell is simply this: it is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I am. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today in studying A Course in Miracles, Lesson 130, published. We're reading from the edition published by Foundation for Inner Peace here on Thursday, May the 9th of 2024. Now, I'm Miracle Willie, forgiveness teacher from the Ozarks. It is impossible to see two worlds. Let's see if I can adjust that just a little bit. Can we get a little bit? See if that works. It is impossible to see two worlds. Perception is consistent. What you see reflects your thinking, and your thinking but reflects your choice of what you want to see. Your values are determiners of this. For what you value, you must want to see, believing what you see is really there. No one can see a world his mind has not accorded value. And no one can fail to look upon what he believes he wants. We're working with our value system. Yet who can really hate and love at once? Who can desire what he does not want to have reality? And who can choose to see a world of which he is afraid? Fear must make blind. Fear must make blind, for this its weapon is. That which you fear to see, you cannot see. Love and perception thus go hand in hand, but fear obscures in darkness what is there. What then can fear project upon the world? What can be seen in darkness that is real? Truth is eclipsed by fear, and what remains is but imagined. Yet what can be real in blind imaginings of panic born? What would you want that this is shown to you? What would you wish to keep in such a dream? Fear has made everything you think you see, all separation, all distinctions, and the multitude of differences you believe make up the world. They are not there. Love's enemy has made them up. Yet love can have no enemy, and so they have no cause, no being, and no consequence. They can be valued, but remain unreal. They can be sought, but they cannot be found. Today we will not seek for them, nor waste this day in seeking what cannot be found. It is impossible to see two worlds which have no overlap of any kind. Seek for the one, and the other disappears, but one remains. They are the range of choice beyond which your decision cannot go. The real and the unreal are all there are to choose between, and nothing more than these, the real and the unreal. Today we will attempt no compromise where none is possible. The world you see is proof you have already made a choice as all-embracing as its opposite. What we would learn today is more than just the lesson that you cannot see two worlds. It also teaches that the one you see is quite consistent from the point of view from which you see it. It is all a piece because it stems from one emotion and reflects its source in everything you see. 6 times today, in thanks and gratitude, we gladly give 5 minutes to the thought that ends all compromise and doubt, and go beyond them all as one. We will not make 1,000 meaningless distinctions, nor attempt to bring with us a little part of unreality, as we devote our minds to finding only what is real. So 6 times today, in thanks and gratitude, we gladly give 5 minutes to the thought that ends all compromise and doubt, and go beyond them all as one. So 6 times today, 5 minutes each time. You're going to take an extended period in thankfulness. We will not make 1,000 meaningless distinctions, nor attempt to bring with us a little part of unreality, as we devote our minds to finding only what is real. Begin your searching for the other world by asking for a strength beyond your own and recognizing what it is you seek. You do not want illusions, and you come to these 5 minutes emptying your hands of all the petty treasures of this world. Come to these 5 minutes, these 6 times for 5 minutes. Come emptying your hands of all the petty treasures of this world. You wait for God to help you as you say, "It is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance." God will be there, for you have called upon the great unfailing power which will take this giant step with you in gratitude. Nor will you fail to see His thanks expressed in tangible perception and in truth. You will not doubt what you will look upon, for though it is perception, it is not the kind of seeing that your eyes alone have ever seen before. And you will know God's strength upheld you as you made this choice. Dismiss temptation easily today whenever it arises, merely by remembering the limits of your choice. The unreal or the real, the false or the true, is what you see and only what you see. Perception is consistent with your choice, and hell or heaven comes to you as one. Accept a little part of hell as real, and you have damned your eyes and cursed your sight, and what you will behold is hell indeed. Yet the release of heaven still remains within your range of choice, to take the place of everything that hell would show to you. All you need say to any part of hell, whatever form it takes, is simply this: "It is impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want." Wow, can we be quick to watch our thoughts? And when we see a little thing that makes us feel like guilt is real and pain is real, that hell is real, we can say, no, our choice is between either heaven or hell, happiness or sadness, innocence or guilt, pain or freedom. Okay, let's be committed to the real. Okay, let's go look in our text reading for today. And here on Ascension Day, 40 days after Easter, and is what's considered by many people and that Ascension Day. Let's see, what else is going on? National Children's Mental Health Awareness Day. And, we are in chapter 14, Teaching for Truth, and we're ready for section 10, the equality of miracles. And I'm not going to go through all the things. That was the two that I thought were most notable today for keeping our attention on what all's going on around the world. since it's Ascension Day, we're going to go with our Aramaic words. Did you know Jesus spoke Aramaic? Which is similar to, well, I'm not going to say it's similar to anything. Anyway, Aramaic. I was going to say it's similar. Many words are the same as Aramaic and maybe even Hebrew. But Aramaic, Shaloma or Shlomo, either word is the word for peace. I think more kind of loose word is Shlomo. Shalomo is the actual word, but it's kind of westernized to Shlomo. It's a greeting. Peace be with you. Hello, goodbye, and peace. Shalomo or Shlomo. Okay, and then in edible landscaping, we've got one more apple today, and it's the Centennial apple. Centennial is a low-spreading tree of about 12 foot. One of the sweeter, more delicious ornamental apples for eating out of hand. Very hardy. Introduced from Excelsior, Minnesota. Pretty early bloom and tree shape. Pretty early bloom and tree shape. Apples have a hint of crabapple flavor. Ripens here in August. Delicious cheese complement, zones 3 through 7. And it's a Malus species also, maybe a Malus domestica. In in Permaculture for Beginners by Carrie Mitchell, we're still in Chapter 8, Creating a Composting System. And the concluding paragraphs, the second paragraph says, basically my words for it, permaculture gardening is for those who want to personally advance in their understanding and working with nature. The goal for the enthusiastic permaculture gardener is the creating of a natural habitat for a thriving and abundant life in balance for gardener, flora, and fauna. So it's a life study, something to be devoted to and understand. And I also had an NDE I wanted to tell you about. It's called, on YouTube, Her NDE Baffled the Cops and Confused the Doctors. Near-death experience. It's Abby Alley, A-L-I, Alley or Ollie, 11 minutes and 43 seconds, and it's an interview by Alan Chapman, and she wrote a book afterwards called Bare Feet, and I really encourage you to watch it. You'll get a lot of good out of that. Her book, Bare Feet, she took it from when she was seeing who she thought was Jesus, and it was just this light being, and she thought he had sandals on, but when she looked at it closer, it was just the shadows from the intense radiance of the bright light. So anyway, it is impossible to see two worlds. The equality of miracles. When no perception stands between God and His creations or between His children and their own, the knowledge of creation must continue forever. The reflections you accept into the mirror of your mind in time but bring eternity nearer or farther. But eternity itself is beyond all time. Reach out of time and touch it with the help of its reflection in you, and you will turn from time to holiness, as surely as the reflection of holiness calls everyone to lay all guilt aside. Reflect the peace of heaven here, and bring this world to heaven. Reflect the peace of heaven here, and bring this world to heaven. For the reflection of truth draws everyone to truth, and as they enter into it, they leave all reflections behind. 2. In heaven, reality is shared and not reflected. By sharing its reflection here, its truth becomes the only perception the Son of God accepts, and thus remembrance of His Father dawns on him, and he can no longer be satisfied with anything but his own reality. You on earth have no conception of limitlessness, for the world you seem to live in is a world of limits. In this world, it is not true that anything without order of difficulty can occur. The miracle, therefore, has a unique function and is motivated by a unique teacher who brings the laws of another world to this one. capitalized on teacher, the Holy Spirit. The miracle is the one thing you can do that transcends order, being based not on differences but on equality. Miracles, paragraph 3, miracles are not in competition, and the number of them that you can do is limitless. They can be simultaneous and legion. This is not difficult to understand once you can conceive of them as possible at all. What is more difficult to grasp is the lack of order of difficulty that stamps the miracle as something that must come from somewhere else, not from here. From the world's viewpoint, this is impossible. 4. Perhaps you have been aware of lack of competition among your thoughts, which, even though they may conflict, can occur together and in great numbers. You may indeed be so used to this that it causes you little surprise. Yet you are also used to classifying some of your thoughts as more important, larger, or better, wiser, or more productive and valuable than others. This is true of the thoughts that cross the mind of those who think they live apart. For some are reflections of heaven, while others are motivated by the ego, which but seems to think. 5. The result is a weaving, changing pattern that never rests and is never still. It shifts unceasingly across the mirror of your mind, and the reflections of heaven last but a moment and grow dim, as darkness blots them out. Where there was light, darkness removes it in an instant, and alternating patterns of light and darkness sweep across your mind constantly. The little sanity that still remains is held together by a sense of order that you establish. Yet the very fact that you can do this and bring any order into chaos shows you that you are not an ego, and that more than an ego must be in you. For the ego is chaos, and if it were all of you, no order at all would be possible. Yet though the order you impose upon your mind limits the ego, it also limits you. To order is to judge and to arrange by judgment. Therefore it is not your function, but the Holy Spirit's. 6. It will seem difficult for you to learn that you have no basis at all for ordering your thoughts. This lesson the Holy Spirit teaches by giving you the shining examples of miracles to show you that your way of ordering is wrong, but that a better way is offered you. The miracle offers exactly the same response to every call for help. It does not judge the call. It merely recognizes what it is and answers accordingly. It does not consider which call is louder or greater or more important. You may wonder how you who are still bound to judgment can be asked to do that which requires no judgment of your own. The answer is very simple. The power of God and not of you engenders miracles. Don't trust in your own little strength. Trust in God's. The miracle itself is but the witness that you have the power of God in you. That is the reason why the miracle gives equal blessing to all who share in it. And that is also why everyone shares in it. The power of God is limitless, and being always maximal, it offers everything to every call from anyone. There is no order of difficulty here. A call for help is given help. 7. The only judgment involved is the Holy Spirit's one division into two categories, one of love and the other the call for love. You cannot safely make this division, for you are much too confused either to recognize love or to believe that everything else is nothing but a call for love. You are too bound to form and not to content. What you consider content is not content at all. It is merely form and nothing else. For you do not respond to what a brother really offers you, but only to the particular perception of his offering, by which the ego judges it. And that's what we want to free ourselves from. 8. The ego is incapable of understanding content, and it is totally unconcerned with it. To the ego, if the form is acceptable, the content must be. Otherwise, it will attack the form. If you believe you understand something of the dynamics of the ego, let me assure you that you understand nothing of it. For of yourself, you could not understand it. The study of the ego is not the study of the mind. In fact, the ego enjoys studying itself and thoroughly approves the undertaking of students who would analyze it, thus approving its importance. Again on that, the study of the ego is not the study of the mind. In fact, the ego enjoys studying itself and thoroughly approves the undertaking of students who would, in quotes, analyze it, thus approving its importance. Yet they but study form with meaningless content. For their teacher is senseless, though careful to conceal this fact behind impressive sounding words, but which lack any consistent sense when they are put together. 9. This is characteristic of the ego's judgments. Separately they seem to hold, but put them together, and the system of thought that arises from joining them is incoherent and utterly chaotic. For form is not enough for meaning, and the underlying lack of content makes a cohesive system impossible. Separation, therefore, remains the ego's chosen condition. For no one alone can judge the ego truly. Yet when two or more join together in searching for truth, the ego can no longer defend its lack of content. The fact of union tells them it is not true. Paragraph 10. It is impossible to remember God in secret and alone, for remembering Him means you are not alone and are willing to remember it. Take no thought for yourself, for no thought you hold is for yourself. If you would remember your Father, let the Holy Spirit order your thoughts and give only the answer with which He answers you. Everyone seeks for love as you do, but knows it not unless he joins with you in seeking it. Isn't that nice to know? Everyone seeks for love as you do, but knows it not unless he joins with you in seeking it. If you undertake the search together, you bring with you a light so powerful that what you see is given meaning. The lonely journey fails because it has excluded what it would find. 11. As God communicates to the Holy Spirit in you, so does the Holy Spirit translate His communications through you, so you can understand them. God has no secret communications, for everything of Him is perfectly open and freely accessible to all, being for all. Nothing lives in secret, and what you would hide from the Holy Spirit is nothing. Every interpretation you would lay upon a brother is senseless. Let the Holy Spirit show Him to you and teach you both His love and His call for love. Neither His mind nor yours holds more than these two orders of thought. And 12, is that the last paragraph for this section? Yes. The miracle is the recognition that this is true. Neither His mind nor yours holds more than these two orders of thought. What are the two orders? Let the Holy Spirit show Him to you and teach you both His love and His call for love. Neither His mind nor yours holds more than these two orders of thought. Now 12. The miracle is the recognition that this is true. Where there is love, your brother must give it to you because of what it is. But where there is a call for love, you must give it because of what you are. Earlier I said this course will teach you how to remember what you are, restoring to your identity. You're a love being, and you either receive love or you give love. And he said, earlier I said this course will teach you how to remember what you are, restoring to you your identity. We've already learned that this identity is shared. The miracle becomes the means of sharing it. By supplying your identity wherever it is not recognized, you will recognize it. And God himself, who wills to be with his Son forever, will bless each recognition of his Son with all the love he holds for him. Nor will the power of all his love be absent from any miracle you offer to his Son. How then can there be any order of difficulty among them? Okay, well, a little longer reading today, but we got through it. And let's sing our song. And remember, 5 minutes, 6 times today, spread throughout the day, for sure, morning and evening, and then throughout the day. And then for anything that would cause you any temptation, you'll say it's impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. Be alert to what you want and don't want. Look at your value system. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Let me accept the strength God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. Watch throughout the day, and if tempted, say, it is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. All I need to say to any part of hell is simply this: it is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. It is impossible. It is impossible to see two worlds. Let me accept the strength that God offers me and see no value in this world, that I may find my freedom and deliverance. And watch throughout the day, and if tempted, say, it is impossible to see two worlds. All I need to say to any part of hell is simply this: it is impossible to see two worlds. I seek my freedom and deliverance, and this is not a part of what I want. And then let it go. Let your values be the kingdom of heaven. It is impossible to see two worlds. Shaloma, Shalomo, or Shlomo, Aramaic for peace. Shalomo. It is impossible to see two worlds. Shlomo or Shalomo, either one. It is impossible to see two worlds. Shalomo.